Welcome back to Sustainable Living with Shilpa Reddy, powered by Planet Green Farm Natura, a new beginning to your life. Today on Planet Green Sustainable Star episode of the month, on the occasion of World Soil Day, I have with me a very special person who is loved and respected by millions across the world of all age groups and from all spectrums of life. He initiated massive environmental people's movements like Rally for Rivers, Kaveri Calling and Save Soil movement that brought in huge policy changes nationally and internationally to conserve nature. The most recent Save Soil movement is one of the world's largest movements that reached over 3.9 billion people worldwide. I'm sure by now you know who I'm talking about. Yes. Let's welcome the founder of Isha Foundation, a visionary, my guru, a mystic, a yogi, and an inspiration to many generations. Sadhguru on my show.
We can make some clothes for you. I will make it and give it to you, make it fashionable.
Sure.
You're not asking me what are the problems of enlightenment.
Please tell me.
We are unleashing a campaign once again to awaken this in people. Here's a ball which I'm going to kick from Adiyogi. We want you to kick the ball however you know.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Wonderful.
Sadhguru, 11 years back when I got initiated by you, Isha…
Oh, you're counting years since then.
Because it was beautiful, and since then life changed in ways that I cannot put my finger on. So many years back, I only knew Isha as an institution which was spreading yoga knowledge and…
Hey, don't call it an institution, that sounds like an asylum. Say a movement.
But years later, you spearheaded Rally for Rivers, then Kaveri Calling, then the most recent Save Soil movement. Just wanted to ask you, how do you connect your work on these environmental issues with that of your yogic knowledge?
See, I have to go to basic definition of what is yoga. Because of most people's understanding of yoga is how they know it as a rebound from the American coast. So they think yoga means wearing some kind of whatever the Lulu pants and twisting and turning and something like that. I'm sorry, I'm not making a fashion statement, okay? You are the fashionista here, not me. So, but yoga means union. Yogi means one who has known life as everything being a part of himself or herself. So I am not a yoga teacher, I am a yogi who experiences life in its larger manifestation as it is. This is not a philosophy, this is not an ideology, definitely it's not environmentalism, something like that. This is yoga. Well, I'm sure you're a very health-conscious person, you're making sure you drink 3.5 liters per day and all that stuff. But I just want to tell you, recently a report has come that Bruce Lee died of drinking too much water. Yes, you must look at that, because I know a lot of people in your strata are promoting drink more water, as if you're an advertisement for the water bottling companies.
Not anymore, Sadhguru.
So when this water, when you look at it, it's flowing away, but 70% of this body is water. How come you experience this as me and you don't experience this as me? Isn't that a tragedy? So this is a tragedy of environmental disasters that are happening, that this is also a piece of the earth, but we don't experience it that way. Because we don't experience this as piece of myself or I'm a part of this, then all kinds of sciences have to be taught to you. So, I'm not an environmentalist or a scientist or a soil scientist or any of those kind. It is just that I have been on this planet for over 6.5 decades long enough for any creature to realize what is the nature of my existence. Above all, for a human being who is supposed to be the flower of evolution on this planet, definitely it's long enough to realize what is the nature of my existence. Everybody knows you were not born like this. This happened because of water, food, this, that, all the inputs that have gone in, now it's grown like this. How come we don't treat the source of our life as ourselves? Forever we have called this planet and even the soil as our mother. In southern India, we call this Thaimannu. This means the soil is our mother. This is not simply being said. This is coming from a profound experience of life where we know whether we live or die, we belong to the soil and we go back to the soil. All this problem is because nature, creation has been magnanimous enough to give us an individual sense of experience.
True.
We have taken that very seriously and taken it wrongly, think we are an existence by ourselves. Each human being existing here as if they're a world by themselves. Only when the time to bury them comes, they understand they're part of the soil, they're part of this. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not doing any environmental stuff, I'm not rallying for rivers, nor am I saving soil. I'm just seeing how to see life on this planet, including you and me, and above all, future life on this planet who will come beyond us, should be able to sustain and live well. But we are almost making sure that won't be possible unless some disaster strikes us into sense. This is a choice we have. We can wait for a massive disaster and then anyway some things will be fixed because the populations will go down, or consciously we can turn it around. So all these efforts are only towards creating a more conscious planet, which has always been the movement, which has always been the mission. We may call it by many names, we can call it yoga, we can call it inner engineering, we can call it rally for rivers, Kaveri calling, save the soil. Essentially, it is about creating a more conscious human beings and a more conscious planet in the end.
So Sadhguru, you said you feel like a worm and you feel the planet like the way worms do. And just now you said human beings should be able to perceive the way things are changing in the soil or atmosphere, but what does it take for us to feel like the way you do?
See, I'm not talking about the word worm as you may use it in the social circumstances when you say somebody is a worm, you know, the worst kind of character. I'm not speaking in those terms. You may not know, but I hold a license for rotary wing pilot. That is, I fly helicopters. Helicopters don't fly at 40,000 feet. We are flying at 2, 3, 5,000, less than 10,000 most of the time. So we see people on the ground. When you see people, you see them just like the worms. Actually, we are all worms in comparison to the larger solar system or the universe or the cosmos. We are not even a worm, we are a microorganism actually. With reference to the cosmos, we are a microorganism. But because we have this individual experience and we have uncontrolled diarrhea of the mind, we think all kinds of things. So, a worm means his life depends on the quality of the soil, absolutely. If the soil gets a little bad, he's gone. He may go very quickly, we may go a little slowly, but it's the same reality for us also. If the soil is not good, we will go for sure. Right now, we are in that position where responsible scientists in the world, not alarmist environmentalists, responsible scientists in the world are openly saying we are heading towards a soil extinction situation. Topsoil may die, That means they're in a diplomatic way saying massive number of human populations may go if we don't take care of it right now. In every possible way, it is manifesting. Recently, the foundation acquired a piece of land close by. So I went there and I thought because we are not… it's a little away and we thought we'll use it for agriculture, I had this tested for the organic content. Generally, as you see, this part of the country is rich and green, lot of agriculture, everything. When we checked the organic content, it was 0.48%. National average is believed to be 0.68%.
I remember you were…
Yes, but here in such rich-looking agricultural land, it is 0.48%. Now I'm having serious doubts about the national average. It could be below 0.5%. So it was shocking revelation for me, even right here, this is happening. This has happened simply because there is no source of organic content to go back into the soil. These lands largely are being farmed in this region, all these lands. From the revenue records, we can see from 1936 onwards, they're being farmed. But I think serious usage of fertilizers and other things came in probably in '70s, mid-70s is the time when they started using fertilizers. Probably later in '80s, they started using serious amount of fertilizer, where they thought it's like… in India we always have this tradition, when we serve a meal, when we serve a Telangana or Andhra meal, first thing they put is a little bit of salt in one corner of your plate or the banana leaf that you may eat on. So you put salt in your food and it tasted very good. They served without enough salt, then you added salt, suddenly it started tasting good. Then you thought, salt is the magic, let me eat just salt. You know what'll happen to you. That's exactly what's happening. We put little bit of salts and it produced magic. So we thought we will just do with salts, we removed all the sources of organic content. When I say sources of organic content, there are only two sources of organic content, plant life and animal life, there's simply nothing else. Where is plant life, where is animal life on the farm? Both are missing, only bags of fertilizer are there. So fertilizer is not the culprit. Unconscious usage, I wouldn't even say over. If you had put substantial organic content and you also used a certain amount of fertilizer, you would yield very well. I'm not against it. Because you have to feed 8 billion people in this country, 1.4 billion people you have to feed. You can't start agriculture like it's some kind of a philosophy. It's a pragmatic, practical activity of life. It needs to be done accordingly. So this is the situation even around here where the lands look so rich. So you can understand what's happening in the rest of the world.
So often you said, Sadhguru, that people who work with soil, they have high, immunity. And I remember you mentioned this during COVID also several times. So can you elaborate how deeply are we connected to soil and…
So right now, we got both your feet into this water which is super mineral rich and also organically reasonably rich, very rich I would say. So you will get much healthier. We're going to charge you for this whole hour that you sit here. I'm saying the world has become like this. If you want to breathe pure air, you have to pay one day, it's already coming there. Yes. If you want to eat good food, you have to pay extra for that. If you want to drink pure water, you have to get it in a bottle. Rivers are not pure, lakes are not pure, anywhere water is not pure, it has to come in a bottle. So, it's not far away before you buy your bath water in bottles. I don't want to be around when that comes. So, we are heading there rapidly. If we don't do corrective action now, we will regret this. This is not just about us, it's about every other life. Every other life means just every other life, from the minutest microorganism to insects, worms, animals, trees, vegetation, and of course human beings and unborn children. UNFAO says, right now the soil and the food that we are consuming does not even belong to our children who may be below 15 years of age. It belongs to the unborn child.
Oh my
When we say unborn child, we're essentially talking about the most helpless life there is. See, if a child is out, even if he is 2-3 years of age, if you try to harm him, he has some… at least a feeble resistance to it. May not be able to protect himself, but at least there is some effort. But if you start beating your unborn child, what can it do? What is it that it can do? Right now, that's exactly we're doing. We are poisoning the waters, we are poisoning the soil, we are killing the life in the soil, life on the planet itself. We're driving in that direction, ensuring that future children, no matter what they have, they cannot live well here. This is what we are doing. Are we that kind of people? See, suppose a little girl on the street, 5-6-year-old girl is enjoying her lollipop and going. Will you grab and eat it up? Are you that kind? You're not that kind. Nobody generally is that kind. There are a few very mentally gone people who can do that. Most human beings, 99.9% of the human beings cannot do that. Right now, we are grabbing the food of the unborn child and eating it up happily. This is… do we want to be that kind of people? This is a decision that human beings should take right now. Are we that kind of people? We will eat up the food of the unborn and we are all right with it. I'm not all right with it, that's why the effort.
So how deeply are we connected to soil?
See, it is not about you're connected to soil, you are soil. If you don't understand this, you must do one thing, you must dig up a grave and look inside. Those people who were people some time ago have become soil, isn't it? What, they magically became soil? No, they were anyway soil, you just put them back. All right? You just put them back. All the millions of animals which live and die, where are they going? You will find an elephant inside this land? No, it's all become soil. Bones may take little more time, but that will also become soil, isn't it? So, life is soil. It's not that you're connected to soil, this must be understood. It is not that you're connected to soil and you will do something about it, no. You're just taking care of the extension. Or let me put it this way, you are an extension of the soil. Life happens like this. There are microbial lives out there which are in trillions. How many are there? Nobody knows. A handful of soil can have anywhere between 8 to 10 billion organisms, 50 to 75 species. How many species are there? Top soil scientists in the world are openly admitting we know less than 1% of the species.
Just less than 1%?
When we know less than 1%, should we be messing with something? No. That's where it is. So this is the foundational life. From the minutest organism, it multiplied. There's a beautiful, observation that some scientists have made. There are super microorganisms. Next to that, exactly same design, there is a next organism which is mildly larger. All of them are micro.
Okay.
And like this, they have noticed 17 strata, 17 different sizes, exactly same design. They believe there could be hundreds.
Wow.
They have noticed 17 layers of same life manifesting. This is life. From a minute particle, slowly it's building itself up, became more and more complex, more and more sophisticated, and here you are. It didn't happen overnight, it took millions of years of work. And today, we are destroying the foundations of our life. It's like this. We build a house where we are living okay, happily. We are very happy with the new house, it protects us, everything good. Then let's say people have children and then they want to build a first floor so that the extra rooms up there. They thought, why go all over the place and source material? Let's take the foundation stones and build the first floor because it's waste. It's sitting inside and doing nothing, isn't it? Isn't foundation a waste? It's sitting in it's sitting inside and doing nothing. You can't use it. So you're really smart, you pulled out the foundation stones and built the first floor. You know what is the status of your house. That is the status, because people always argue economy versus ecology. If there is no ecology, there shall be no economy. You need to manage your economy in such a way, it is within the precincts of ecological laws, not laws passed by the government. Within the ecological laws, how much can we disturb? Because our life is a disturbance.
How can this become common knowledge, Sadhguru?
That's why I'm talking to you.
No, I'm saying, can educational institutions play any kind of role in…
I'm talking to you so that you may make soil fashionable. We can make some clothes for you which are just made of soil. Where are our sannyasis? Nobody here. They all wear soil clothes, you know. Clothes are all, dyed with red soil.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Because it's a completely different experience living in that. So I will make it and give it to you, make it fashionable, let me see.
Sure. So Sadhguru, I learned that after your 100-day ride, motorbike ride, the social media metrics recorded that…
No, don't go there. Ask somebody who rides long distances. Ask them, have they ever dared to sit on a motorcycle 100 days and ride full day? Young people, ask them.
That was another question I was going to ask you.
Because everybody thinks, oh, Sadhguru rode for 100 days, they don't know what's involved.
No, I know exactly what's involved. No, my question is, the social media metrics said the movement reached more than 3.5 billion people.
Hey, what happened? You took away half a billion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 3.91 billion in 100 days. After that, still the campaign is going on, we don't know the numbers now, it is well over 4 billion.
So after this movement, I wanted to ask, what can an individual do on a daily basis to not forget the importance of soil? Will Sadhguru give us some kind of a ritual?
See, when you say a ritual, you are saying, can you do something mechanically, automatically, unconsciously? That is the thing you should not do. Right now the destruction has happened because of that. We have started doing things mechanically, everything. Oh, you did this yesterday, so we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. No. We need to act consciously. What is consciousness? There are many ways to look at it. Right now the simple thing is, for anything in the world to happen, I can do something, you can do something, maybe you planted 100 trees, maybe I planted 1,000 trees, it doesn't matter. All this is fine, we appreciate that. But this is not a solution. If solution needs to happen, it should become the law of the land, isn't it? In any country, any aspect, not only about soil. If anything has to become a real solution, it has to become law of the land, and people must also be conscious about it so that they diligently follow that law to make it happen. If there is no law, then if there is no law that you should not build right next to this stream, oh, right here there'll be resorts all along the way. Some distance is there, some 100 meters or 50 meters, something they've put. You can only build there, not here. So, right now we are sitting in the water, this is okay. But this is not okay for you to build a resort in the island that is here, all right? So, because you don't build it not because everybody is conscious, you don't build it because there is a law. So, we need a law. See, there is a law for urban land. How much can you build in a given piece of land? But there is no law for agricultural land. What is the minimum organic content you must maintain in your agricultural lands? Because this is not just about you, this is about the country's well-being, it's national security, it's a food security for us and future generations in this country. Country is land in many ways. The richness of the land reflects in how people live, isn't it? This country, this land, as we know as Bharat, this has lived a phenomenal life for last 10,000, 15,000 years. There's been a bad time because of invasions and occupations in the last 500 to 1,000 years. But before that, this was the land on the planet,
Right.
simply because of the complexity of life. So, how rich the land is in terms of soil, in terms of minerals, in terms of atmosphere, in terms of latitudinal spread, that from Kanyakumari to Himalayas, what all we have, this gives us a phenomenal richness of life and it thrived. Just look back and see, for the last 1,000 years, any traveler from anywhere in the world, in the known world at that time at least, where do they want to go? They want to go to Hindustan. Anybody. Well, that guy got lost and went to America, all right? But he wanted to go to India. And those poor Native Americans, even today they call them Indians. I keep reminding them, see, I went on a Native American tour, went into 17 nations, Native American nations on my motorcycle in 2020, covered 20 states, over 10,000 miles. And I kept on reminding those Indians, they say, we Indians, I say, you're not the Indian, I'm the real Indian, all right? This is how an Indian looks, not like you. You're an American, all right? You're the real American. So, everybody wanted to come to India. Why? Because this was the wealthiest, most prosperous, most vibrant culture on the planet. You think we did it all by ourselves? It is the nature, it is the soil, it is the strength of nature around us which supported everything that we wanted to do. Without the geography, without a rich geography, there is no rich history. Let's understand this.
I didn't think of it this way. Yeah, you're right, absolutely. But Sadhguru, how challenging is it now, financially or geographically or culturally, to change soil around, make it healthy for future generations?
See, it's not rocket science, nor does it take a Herculean effort to do this. But most of the time you must understand the worst things have happened to human societies not because of evil intentions, because of apathy.
Because of?
Apathy.
Apathy,
Yes.
okay.
So, you think, it's okay, and sleep on it. Well, it will come when it comes. Then you can say it's our karma. Definitely it's our karma because we are not doing our karma now, so it will come. But unfortunately, the next generations will suffer immensely. I want you to just envision this. If you can't envision the whole planet, envision Hyderabad where you live. By 2045, our population will be 9.2 billion people. What is Hyderabad's population now? Around 7 million, 8 million, is it? It should be around that, 7 to 8 million. Let's say it'll go to 11 or 12 million.
By 2045 you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll be producing 40% less food. Let's say 40% of the Hyderabad people have not eaten for last 3 days.
Right.
Do you think you can run your fashion business? You can do all the subtle things in the culture that you're trying to do, music, dance, this, that, you think you can do any of those things? Roads will be war zone, isn't it? Streets will be war zone. Right now, UN agencies are predicting by 2035, there'll be dozens of civil wars because of food and water shortage. By 2032, 3.5 billion people will be water stressed. You think they will just lie down and take it?
No.
This is what we are heading for if we don't make the correction. And because I'm mixing the soil and water, a lot of people ask, oh, why is he mixing this? Because people have come to me like this. Sadhguru, initially you were saying, let's plant trees, we all came. Then you suddenly said, rally for rivers, okay, we did that. Then you said Kaveri, as if Kaveri is not a river. And now you're suddenly saying soil. See, right now, this stream is flowing here. You think some idiots believe somewhere up in the mountain there will be a mountain spring where from the mountain, like volcano, water is coming. This is the mindset of a utter idiot. These idiots are not small in number, that is the problem.
Okay.
Here, if you go up, as you go up into the mountain, you will see the stream will become smaller, 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 where it'll… up there it'll be just a wet patch. So how is it flowing? Rain that happened 2 months, 3 months ago, all that vegetation is holding it in the soil, slowly letting it out drop by drop. Those drops are all going here, millions of drops. billions and billions of drops are going here. Like this, right here in the next 5 kilometers, there are about 6 to 7 streams coming down these hills. All of them go there and join and becomes one river. That river is a tributary to Kaveri, but these days it's not reaching Kaveri. Before it reaches Tirupur, it is fully dried up. Okay, because we are using it up or we are dried it up for so many reasons. So I'm saying only when this flows and reaches Kaveri and Kaveri reaches ocean, you have an ecological system. You have a system which is circular and which continues. It goes to the ocean, again evaporates, goes up and becomes a cloud and again comes back, and this circular process is happening. If you cut it off somewhere, well, it's just a question of time before it gets at us. Because we are so short-sighted, we think it's okay, what happened? We drank up all of Kaveri before it touches the ocean because nearly 4 months it's dry, it's not touching the ocean. We think it's okay, oh, it's the summer season, it doesn't go to the ocean. Well, for these millions of years it's been going to the ocean, why is it not going now? Because this foolish idea that only this mountain valley is a catchment. No, every inch of land in the Kaveri basin, this entire thing, 83,000 square kilometers is catchment. Wherever a drop of rain falls, it goes into the soil, gets into the trees and vegetation, one way or the other it finds into a small rivulet or a stream and becomes a river and tries to go back to the ocean. This is the process of life. And we have forgotten, we are also part of this circular movement, all right? People who lived here, not just people, all the creatures who lived here, including human beings, all of them died at some time and went back into the soil. Because of that, you and me are sitting here. Suppose all of them took their bodies and went to moon, you wouldn't be born, I'm telling you.
Oh.
Yes. Because it's a cycle, this needs to happen all the time. If you break the cycle and watch how long is it going to last, you're I don't know what to call. I don't have enough vocabulary in that area of life.
So after the Save Soil movement, what have been few of the progressive steps? Is Isha involved in any of them?
Yes, Isha, the Save Soil movement and Conscious Planet movement is very actively involved. I'm personally engaged with a lot of things around the world, which is keeping me day and night busy, non-stop, going on.
A lot of travel.
Lot of travel, our teams are working, but still there are many things when it comes to leadership, I have to personally handle it, so it's an endless amount of things. Too many balls to juggle, all right? We need to bring in larger teams to make this happen. Right now, we have managed to push 81 nations. 81 nations, including Commonwealth nations, European Union and Caribbean nations, which is called CARICOM nations. All of them have begun to form their soil policies. Europe has started consultative process, but it's all heading this way about increasing the organic content. Otherwise, they were talking in so many things. Just a simple thing to understand is this, to see how significant Save Soil movement has become. In COP26 in Glasgow, when the whole world met, in the month of January this year, there was no big deal about soil. Many environmental ministers that I met, they said, Sadhguru, why they did not even mention soil when it's so important? I said, you should ask them, it's not for me to comment. You are the one who is going there as a party from the nation, you know. You should ask them. But COP27, we have an observer status. Save Soil movement has an observer status in COP27 in Egypt, just concluded. Our teams went there and came now. Here, soil has become a significant part of global warming and other things. Now everybody has started talking about it, policies are being made.
Just from Jan to…
Yes, it's a matter of 8 months. So, United States invested overall in that direction over $20 billion, particularly focused towards soil, $8.5 billion. Europe or Germany has invested $4.5 billion, India has invested $2.4 billion. So it's moving, but is it enough? It's not enough. So in a democratic country where governments keep changing, where one political party may see the significance and do something, next may come and do something else. For this not to happen and there is a continuity to this, it's important the citizens of the world, people who live on this planet, who claim to be living in democratic nations, they must continue to keep their voices up. I'm particularly focusing in democracies because the so-called autocratic nations, monarchies and other things, is very easy to handle. I just have to go and meet the king or the… whatever you call them, the leader, and convince one man and it's a done thing. In a democracy, you have to convince a whole lot of people and they will not do anything unless people express strongly. Because they are people's representatives, they always have to please their constituency. So the constituencies have to stand up. So as a process of this, 5th of December is now the World Soil Day. We are writing to all the 542 MPs in the country. Over 3 million letters were written by children from schools for their heads of state, where the Germany's education ministry said all children should participate in Safe Soil Movement, official notification, all right, in Germany. So, in United States, we are forming a very powerful board, people who have enormous popularity in that country and also in the world, who will come together shortly in the month of February, March. We will put them together. And in Guyana, they are allocating about 100 square kilometers of land for us to manifest this. We are already manifesting this as a part of Kaveri calling, but
Still not enough.
132,000 farmers have transformed their lives by doing what we call as tree-based agriculture. Generally in the world today it is being called regenerative agricultural practices. Their incomes have gone up 300 to 800%. So one important thing that we have achieved is the one basic thing that we told everybody is the simplest thing you can do is, when land is not in use, bring cover crops. So most nations are going for that immediately. UK has given subsidies for that, United States has given subsidies for that, in India there are subsidies for that, Tamil Nadu government has given subsidies for that here. Across the many states in India, most states have started allocating subsidies for having cover crops. This is a simple thing. During summer seasons, land is protected with a cover crop. This itself will do wonders. Because plowing the land and leaving it open to the sun in harsh sun is like… not you, let me say me, you're too, you're a beautiful woman, I don't want to do this to you. If I peel off my skin and stand in the sun, well, my entire body will scream, every cell in the body will scream. That's exactly what's happening to the land. I can't believe nobody hears it. It breaks my heart to hear this.
But we had that knowledge in India, right, sir?
It's not knowledge, it's sensitivity. Knowledge will not awaken you. You can have all kinds of knowledge, it doesn't awaken you. Right now, you know there is a war going on in the world, you know there is a famine in the world. But in 2 minutes it's gone and you're fine with your life, isn't it? But if it happened here, if you're in the famine, if you experience the famine, in your entire life you're not going to forget that, right? So it is lack of sensitivity, not knowledge. Knowledge, too much knowledge, all over the place. And knowledge will not bring transformation.
So last but not the least, you rode 30,000 kilometers in 100 days, riding almost 8 to 9 hours.
8 to 9 hours, sir.
No?
No, there are days when I rode for 24 hours. No. Many days over 16 to 18 hours.
Okay, I'll correct that. Attending almost 500 events by the end of 100 days?
What are you cutting down everything?
Sorry.
691 events have been recorded.
600?
Yeah, a lot of them were done on the motorcycle though.
Oh, wow. So this is humanly impossible, Sadhguru, physically or mentally.
So you are accusing me that also that I'm inhuman?
No, I want to know the secret.
Or subhuman or something.
It's just so hard to understand how you did it. What is the secret behind what you did?
You told me that I initiated you 11 years ago,
Yes.
and you said, many changes happen which you can't put your fingers on. Though there are 10 fingers, you're still not able to put your fingers on that. Put a finger on one of them and tell me, I will explain why.
Anger is completely gone.
Anger is gone.
Most of it is gone.
So, peaceful home, peaceful society, peaceful India.
I mean, nothing can rattle me that easily.
Okay. See, just imagine. Imagine this world where all human beings, their anger is gone. Nothing can rattle them. What would they do on this planet? Something superhuman, isn't it? How much of time, energy, resource, destruction is happening simply because somebody gets angry or somebody is fearful. Rattled means in some way fear. Fear and anger disappeared from all human beings just like you. What'll happen? Is a miracle?
Yes.
That's all this is. When there is no fear, when there is no anger, you also have no self-interest of any kind and there is no pain. Physical pain is there, but you hold it at a little distance, your body. If you hold your body at a little distance, hunger, lack of sleep, pain, all these things are hanging in front of you but not in you. You're still going on doing things joyfully. This is yoga. Why do you think I've invested my whole life, 40 years, over 40 years now, just to get this across to people? Because this will not only create beautiful human beings, we will live in a fantastic world if we create such human beings. Is it possible? Yes, this is what it is. These are technologies for well-being. We have tried to handle human well-being with belief system. God is watching you. Don't get angry right now, God is watching you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, God is watching you, don't get angry. But after some time, you'll get angry with God himself, all right, because it will cure you for some time, it's a band-aid. It'll hold you down, but after that it'll burst out. Don't worry, God is with you, everything is going to be okay. Well, you know what happens. All believers are not free from fear, it's on. But there is a technology for well-being. Instead of handling with belief systems, philosophies, ideologies, mumbo-jumbo of doing things, there are technologies for well-being. Your fear, your anger, your anxiety, your depression, everything has a chemical basis in the body. So essentially, what you called as an initiation is just an introduction to a technology which will create a blissful chemistry beginning to happen in you. We can tweak it and take it to another level, but then you'll have problems of enlightenment.
So on the occasion of
You're not asking me what are the problems of enlightenment, no. You don't want to know, I won't tell you.
You said don't aim for enlightenment. I remember in one of the conversations, don't try enlightenment but just…
No, you don't try. I said, if your chemistry becomes absolutely blissful, you have no issue with anything, then the next steps will naturally happen, all right? And when everything becomes crystal clear, there are certain problems, but I won't tell you right now because you don't want to know.
Please tell me.
No. Tell me what's the next question.
No, on the occasion of Soil Day, would you like to tell us as to how to regard soil and how to celebrate Soil Day?
See, our idea of a city is every inch of it should be paved, either by road or pavement, all right? Here and there, small manicured patches of lawn, it's okay. I'm not trying to tell you, you change the city now, you cannot, because it's already done. So what can we do as citizens? You're not a farmer, you're not going to go and work in the fields and change the land. And even if you change, it'll not make a difference. Even if you are farming 1,000 acres and you made it into very rich land, it will not solve the problem. It's good, but it's not going to solve the problem. Solving the problem right now needs policy change. For policy change, governments need people's support. Why particularly for soil, government needs people's support is, this is a kind of investment, this is a kind of focus which may take 10, 15 years to bear true results. It is not true in individual land, within 2 years, 3 years it'll bear result, but in the nation to show a certain sense of prosperity of both life and economy, it will take a certain amount of time. Now, the government's life is only 5 years in this country. How do you convince them to invest and work for 10-15 years when if your simple goals that you have for 5 years are not fulfilled, you're going to get them out of office? So you and me and every citizen in the country and in the world has to stand up and loudly speak. Continue to speak till it gets into every deaf ear that we are with you if you take long-term policies. We are interested in the well-being of the nation, future well-being of the nation, and we are interested in the future of our children. See, you have a child. Should I teach you a nice philosophy? Shall I read from a scripture how you must love your child, how you want your child to live better than you? Shall I produce some scriptures for you? Or is it intrinsic?
Intrinsic.
It's intrinsic. But right now I want you to understand, we are creating a situation, no matter what you have for your child, prepared. You may have enough wealth for 5 generations, you may have education that is needed for 10 people in one person, but they are not going to live well in another 30 to 40 years if we don't make some fundamental changes as to how we farm the land on this planet. That's one aspect. There are other aspects, but this is of immediate concern.
Okay. So keep supporting this.
Yes, on the 5th of December, we are unleashing a campaign once again to awaken this in people. One of the things I want you to do is, if you can print 10,000 balloons, which are minimum 4 to 5 feet diameter, white in color with a Safe Soil logo on it, and inspire all the Hyderabadis when they're walking to their office, tie to their shirt button and just walk on the street. You look funny, it's okay, but I'm telling you, you're really funny that you say you care for your children and you're destroying the foundations of their well-being. That's not funny. It's better to be funny than to be stupid, all right? So if you can't put it on your dress, put it on your car and fly it, or put a sticker, do something, make the idea of saving the soil very visible, and let the people who make legislations and policies in both state and at the center understand that people really want it. See, we are writing letters from the foundation. Children have written over 3 million letters. When I showed, when the Prime Minister came to the event in Vigyan Bhavan, our people had very aesthetically organized all the children's letters. Over 1.5 million Indian children had written. There were more, 1.5 million was put up there for his view. He just looked at this and has said, "Ye Jan Andolan hai." I said, yes, it's a people's movement, not just in the country, around the world.
Right.
So, now we are working with Niti Aayog to take it to the next level, to make the financial policy for Safe Soil. India is moving in that direction. But the question is only, will we move rapidly enough? And that is only possible if there is citizen support for any government. People think, oh, Sadhguru is supporting this present government. I don't care which government. Whoever comes, we must make our concern for the future of this nation and the future of our children absolutely clear, absolutely.
We'll do all that we can, Sadhguru. Thank you so much.
One day you can give up your fashionable clothes and wear a t-shirt, Safe Soil.
I already have one.
No, but you must wear it on that day.
For sure.
So, you've been clocked as sitting here for more than an hour, it costs
For the water?
Yeah, you must carry all these rocks and put them out. And also right now it's the footballing season, there's a World Cup football going on in Qatar. So as a part of the Safe Soil movement, we are talking about score for soil.
Score for soil.
Yes, here's a ball which I'm going to kick from Adiyogi on 5th December and let it go around the world. Many prominent people around the world will be kicking the ball, ordinary citizens will be kicking the ball.
Wow.
We want you to kick the ball however you know. You don't have to score a goal, but you score for soil. Because the advantage for scoring the soil is, it's not a small box. Wherever you put it, you score for soil.
Yes, absolutely. Brilliant. Save soil.
Thank you.